Hey everyone, and welcome back to our page. Today we are going to show you an eyebrow tinting tutorial and how to mix Tint and Developer at different ratios to get different outcomes. The next kit I'd love to go over with you is the brow tinting set. This is awesome to have at your salon or for yourself as an artist. It comes with an amazing color chart. This color chart goes over all the different inlay tints. So when you open it up, it has all the different tints down here. It has how it looks like on the hair, and then it has how it looks like if you're mixing the colors together. So if you do have a client who is a little bit more nervous and hasn't maybe had tint done before, it's a great alternative to be able to grab your color chart. It looks so professional. They put so much thought into it, and be able to go over and explain how colors look once on the hair. And then inside the tinting set, we have all the different inlay tints. So it goes from shiny black, chestnut, brown, light brown, cappuccino, blue night, red, and silver. Then there also is the inlay sunshine bleach. We have the inlay developer, and do take note that inlay's developer is 1.5%. Most developers that we see here for lashes and brows in Canada is 3%. In Europe, the standard has to be 2% or lower. So inlay went just that much further and made theirs a 1.5%, which means that it's super gentle, yet it's so still really, really effective. And it's nice because our hairs on our eyebrows and our lashes are super delicate, so we want to treat them that way. And then we have our inlay saline solution. So that's what you're going to use to make sure that you're making sure the lashes or brows are super clean before you do the treatment. And then we have our Pro Tint remover. So if you need to remove any excess tint, that's great to use. It comes with the little inlay solo dish. So this is what you mix the developer with the tint in. And then we have our Michelangelo brush, and the Michelangelo brush is amazing. It has a really long bristle so that you're never needing to worry about touching the product to the metal of the brush because the bristles are so long. Yeah, this is a great kit. It gives you everything you need, especially if you have a salon or if you're someone who does brows a lot. You literally have everything in here besides the inlay mousse, and the inlay mousse does come separate. And this is a gentle foaming mousse. It's pH balanced, so it's perfect to use before any lash lift, lash filler treatment, or brow lamination. So this is showing the inlay brow tinting set. I'm just going to go through the color chart with my client to determine what color we're going to use. It's a really great tool to have to help you with your client decide on the perfect shade. She doesn't like too dark of eyebrows, so we decided to go with the inlay light brown. So you just take a little dollop of the tint, which has the color precursors in it, and we're going to mix it with the inlay developer. The inlay developer is a 1.5% volume, which makes it very gentle. It opens the hair cuticle slowly. We're going to mix it together. You want to mix it for anywhere from like a minute to 3 minutes. You're always mixing the inlay tint and developer right before you're going to use it because it's in its most active phase. So what you want to do is you want to start out in the most obvious areas that have hair missing. So we're going to apply the tint using our Michelangelo brush. And what I like to do is focus on where you can see the skin inside of your outline the most. So I like to cut the bottom line. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing and penetrating that tint in, making sure that it's getting past the hairs and getting a nice good layer onto the skin. I like to leave the head of the brow free, so about a finger width from the head to the inside of the brow, because we want to make it a little bit more ombre. So yeah, so apply the tint into sparse areas first, making sure to get an even layer on the skin, and then I'm going to come back and put a second layer on top of the hair, making sure that the entire inside of my outline is being covered with tint. So the most important thing that I'm focusing on when I'm doing this is making sure that I'm doing the push and penetrate, that I'm getting past all of her hair and getting onto the skin so that we can cast a shadow on her skin and give her a nice, fresh, fully defined brow shape. And then if I get anything outside of my brow design, I make sure to use a Q-tip to clean up. And then to remove, I like to use the stick portion of the Q-tip to remove the tint so that I'm keeping my outline in place for my precision waxing. Now, if the client thought the tint was dark enough right now, you'd want to put a little bit of water on the end of the Q-tip and just swipe the hair to stop the process of the tint. Today we're going to be discussing something that is definitely overlooked. We're going to talk about the InLei tint color line, how to mix at different ratios, how to mix colors together to get that perfect blend. So I'm just going to cover the rest of these so we can focus on our first column here. So what we've done is we've mixed the tint with developer at a 1-to-1 ratio. So that means 50% developer to 50% tint. The tint is the color precursor. So here on the top, we have our shiny black. The second color here is our blue night. So these are going to be our two lash tinting colors. You can see the shiny black is a deeper, darker black, and then the blue night is a blue black. Perfect for people who have blue eyes or lighter color or want that nice hue of blue in the sunlight. And then our third color here is silver. So this is going to be 100% cool. This is going to be great for platinum blondes or somebody who's graying, or if you wanted to add silver to any other color to cool it down. Then we have our light brown, which is our lightest brown that has a cool neutral base to it. And then we have our brown. It's going to be our darkest brown and a more neutral base as well. And then we get to cappuccino. So cappuccino is going to be our lightest color with a warm base to it. Now, keep in mind that all of these colors are dependent on the background color of the hair that you're starting with and skin tone. And then we have the chestnut, which is going to be our darkest brown with warmth to it. So our darkest warm brown. And then here we have red. In the second column, I show where we're mixing the tint to developer at a 65-35-ish range. So we're going to do more tint than developer. So we're going to have more of the color precursors compared to if we had more developer than tint. So this line here is showing how I used more tint, so a 65-35 ratio. So you can see how the colors are different. The colors are getting more saturated because we have more color precursors coming out because we didn't get it essentially watered down with more developer. So you can go and see how silver looks different, looks darker. Every color looks darker because there's more color precursors. Now in the next column, it's the opposite. I did 35% tint to 65% developer. So you can see how the colors now are more watered down. So we have our shiny black. You can compare it to this column, the blue night, the silver. This is a really good option for somebody who wants a really, really light, cool tint. You can use more developer than tint and use the silver color. And you can see the light brown and the brown. Cappuccino is a big difference. The red, the chestnut, and then the red. And then in the next column, I just show how to mix different colors together. So this is going to be shiny black and cappuccino. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio with two different colors. The blue night with shiny black, the silver and light brown, the light brown and cappuccino, the brown and cappuccino, cappuccino with silver, chestnut with silver, and red with light brown. This is a really great exercise to do at home to learn the base of the color, to see how the colors mix together, to know how to get darker colors if people want more staining effects on the skin, or how to get lighter colors by just adding more developer than tint. You can also do this on your arm. You can do it on different skin types to see how you can get different colors. So the reason we always say to apply the tint and developer as soon as you mix it together onto the hair is because oxidation happens. On the left-hand side where the tint is really dark, you can see that the Tint and Developer has already oxidized. So this means we want the oxidation to occur on the hair follicle rather than in the dish. As the oxidation process begins, the molecules swell and the hair fails to penetrate the hair follicle properly. So if you ever wondered why your tint isn't tinting as well on the hair, this is the reason why.